Hello and welcome to Get Great at Maths. Today's video is a GCSE Mathematics OCR J560 exam paper question from the June 2022 series on the higher tier, paper 4. This is a calculator paper and we're going to be looking at question 7 today. The question 7 is a volume problem and we're looking at two shapes here, a pyramid and a sphere. The pyramid, we're told down the bottom the formula for the volume of the pyramid. So down the bottom it tells us the formula is 1/3 the area of the base times the perpendicular height, and it tells us the volume of the sphere is 4/3 pi r cubed. Now this question is worth 5 marks in total, and the question wants us to work out the radius of the sphere. Now the question also says you must show your working out, and if you don't show your working out you won't get the full 5 marks even if you get the correct answer. Now in the diagram, the key information from within the question has been given in the diagram. So you're told that the pyramid is a base of 12.3, which you can see clearly in the diagram by these two 12.3, which means that we've got a square base pyramid here. And we've got a perpendicular height, so that's the maximum height going up from the middle of 15.7, which is on my diagram as well. We're also told that the volume of the pyramid and the sphere have got exactly the same volume, so we're going to need to use that information as well. Now the volume of the pyramid is the one we've got most information for to start with, so we will start there. Now we're told the volume of the pyramid down the bottom is 1/3 the area of the base times the perpendicular height. Specifically for this square base pyramid, the volume is going to be 1/3 times the length squared times the height, because the length is the same in both cases because it is a square. Now the length is the 12.3 squared, so I've got 1/3 times 12.3 squared times the perpendicular height of 15.7. This is a calculator paper, so just type that into your calculator and that will give you 791.751. Now that first bit up there will give you 1 mark for doing the working, and your second mark is for getting the volume of 791.751. That will be in centimetres cubed. Now you're told that the volume of the pyramid and the volume of the sphere are exactly the same. So the pyramid and the sphere have got the same volume. And we know down the bottom that the volume of the sphere is 4/3 pi r cubed. This answer we've just worked out is equal to 4/3 pi r cubed for 1 mark. So we've got 3 marks so far. So just from using the information in the question and taking key bits of information, we've got 3 marks. From here, this is the tricky bit, we've got to rearrange to find r, the radius of the sphere. So I'm going to get rid of the divided by 3, so I'm going to multiply both sides by 3 first. And then I'm going to divide both sides by 4 pi to get rid of this multiply by 4 pi. So I'm going to just get rid of this section here, get rid of that times by 4 pi. I'm going to divide both sides by 4 pi. Now to get r on its own, I need to take the cube root. So I'm going to do the cube root of that answer to give me the value of r. You would get 1 mark for saying that r cubed is equal to 189.016628, or rounded to 189.02. And then to get the final mark, we need to cube root that answer to give me r is 5.7389. Remember, in the cube root button on your calculator, it looks like the square root with the little 3 at the front. Gives me the cube root. Okay, so that's the button you're looking for on the calculator. Type in the cube root of 189 with all the other digits, gives you r is 5.73896. Now you need to give your answer to 3 significant figures. So when we're rounding to 3 significant figures, I've got a 5, 7 and 3 are my first 3 significant figures. I draw a line after the 3 and look at the digit afterwards, which is the 8. The 8 is going to tell me I'm going to round up because 8 is bigger than 5. So I'm going to round up here, which means I'm going to round up my 3 to make it a 4. So to 3 significant figures, r is equal to 5.74. Okay, there's my answer. You can see here the 5 marks down the side where the marks were awarded from on the mark scheme. Mark scheme, is here. You can see on the mark scheme we have got down the bottom with correct working. So we've got 5.73 or 5.74 or 5.7, but you have to have the correct mark working to get them 5 marks here. It says down here SC3 for answer of the 5.73 or the 5.74 or the 5.7 with no working or insufficient working. So if you don't show your working, the maximum number of marks you can get for this question is 3 marks. For 4 marks, if you had written down the volume was 1/3 times 12.3 cubed squared times 15.7 divided by 4 pi over 3. OE is all equivalent. Or if you came down to your R cubed value of a 791.8 divided by the 4/3 of pi. Also 3 marks were awarded, could have been awarded for working out 4/3 of pi r cubed was equivalent to the volume of the pyramid, or equivalent as we've shown earlier. There is 1 method mark just for working out the volume of the pyramid, and there is an answer mark for getting the 791 or rounded equivalent for the volume of that pyramid. It is fairly straightforward question when you break it down, but it does take a lot of information to break down this question to be able to get the full marks for this question. Thanks for listening. This is a video done by Get Great at Maths. If you enjoyed this video, please press like and subscribe. Thanks for listening.